So many thanks. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairpersonship, Mrs Moon, and I would like to congratulate the Honourable Gentleman from Stafford for bringing this very important debate. He is a real advocate of what works in international development, and it's a great privilege to serve on the committee alongside him. I'm very pleased to be able to participate in this debate today and have a great interest due to my membership of the International Development Committee and also my local interest with the Department for International Development in Scotland being based in East Kilbride, which is in my own constituency. It's vitally important that we recognise that ensuring sustainable inclusive jobs is vital across the world. These must be created and that this is placed at the heart of the UK's development agenda. I'm particularly proud of my own party's work in the area, with the Scottish Government making a firm commitment to advance Scotland's place in the world as a responsible nation. Its International Development Fund of £9 million and its Climate Justice Fund of £6 million funding, which supports 11 projects, including in Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania and Rwanda. Goal 8 is jobs and livelihoods in terms of our sustainable development goals. It's a key objective which requires to be achieved by 2030. There is much work to be done, as we've heard, if this is to be realised, and progress, I believe, must be regularly monitored and measured effectively, with both improved data collection and also the development of disaggregated data. We need to ensure that the disproportionate unemployment rate for young people is tackled. Just to keep rates constant, around 600 million new jobs will need to be created. Unemployment also disproportionately affects women and disabled people, and included in the target is the need to achieve full and productive employment for all, and equal pay for work of equal value, ensuring that no one is left behind. We can look to the example of work funded in Malawi, which has included projects and which have focused on job development and economic growth. Only this month I met with Malawian farmers who had developed a fair trade enterprise that enabled many within their own community to develop sustainable businesses. Their venture supported others as well as their own families and also enabled many children to attend school. These are the types of initiatives that I would like to see DFID funding in the future and looking at developing. The Global Concerns Trust have run several projects which have helped adults with disabilities receive vocational training. In one project, 106 adults have been given training in carpentry or tailoring and it has given 57 the tools they need to start up their own business. Again, we need to ensure that no one is left behind in our development portfolio. Another project has given 62 people with disabilities vocational training, as well as training in business skills and in prevention of HIV and AIDS so that they can help others within their community. This has helped people to earn a living, with an average more than 5-fold increase in income for those trained. These achievements may seem small in scale, but they have a huge impact. They allow people the opportunity to develop and grow, to create businesses and to become economic contributors. They are then not reliant upon government, project work or aid for sustainability. Not only is it important for developing countries to have sustainable economies for growth, there are enormous psychological benefits to being employed and economically active. It gives dignity and fulfilment. Without a job, people feel they have no future for themselves or their families. Jobs meet important psychosocial needs, and work is central to individual identity and social status, whereas conversely, there is a strong association that we're aware of between worklessness and poor health, including poor mental health and poverty. Working towards full employment in developing countries also helps create a foundation for growing prosperity, inclusion and therefore social cohesion. The Department for International Development does work on private sector development, but I believe there is much work to be done in this realm. We need to engage private enterprise to ensure that the millions become the trillions that we need to leverage our sustainable development goals in their progress. We need to ensure that focus is placed upon entrepreneurship and allowing people to develop their own skills and attributes, including technological skills, which are so important to economic development. As well as this, we need effective measures to eradicate forced labour, slavery and human trafficking. We need to work at many levels. There is a necessity to develop clear guidance to ensure that future assistance is clearly structured to create coherent opportunities. It is such a fundamental issue that it is of the utmost importance we get this right and continually assess our progress. We need the UK Government to report on its progress in an open, accessible and participatory way, supporting the active engagement of all, including children and marginalised groups. As I've mentioned, I think a key issue is that we require better data sets and that those are disaggregated across countries. I am also hopeful, as has been mentioned, that technology will have the ability to transform people's lives across the world, and particularly women's lives. Tools and equipment reduce drudgery and increase time, quality time that can be spent with family and on education. I would like to see, if possible, a fair trade symbol developed that demonstrates in particular women's contribution to the production cycle, where women lead and develop businesses in the developing world. And I'd be grateful if the Minister could comment upon whether this would be a helpful idea. In summing up, jobs and livelihoods are crucial for all. The Sustainable Development Goals mean we must make progress at home as well as in developing countries. More focus is required on enabling and less upon scapegoating the workless, as this would motivate change. I look forward to working constructively on the International Development Committee on this particular issue, and also at home in terms of my own constituency, developing jobs and livelihoods for all. Thank you.